Shuffle to the groove of the bassline. stupid. Hey. Stupid. Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the first official match day of the league main team. I'm super excited. We're playing against Peacocks. My co-caster, Alisrim, is nowhere to be found right now. He just had a LAN party this weekend, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's just very, very tired and just slept through the alarm and everything. I'm hyped. I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be the first showing of the full team after the calibration phase, which of course went 8-0 our way. So I'm very excited to see what the boys can do with this one. Now, first off, I need to get some stuff ready because I had some I had scrims before this and it was delayed. So a bit of stress right now, but everything's fine. Everything's fine. Just need to make sure that everything works basically. How is everyone doing on this wonderful Sunday evening? Hope everyone is ready to head into the next week tomorrow. Thank you. Let me quickly get everything done. And then we got our good mid Shiva as coach, of course. The enemies, I have no idea, so no coach. There we go. Alright. So maybe it's possible at some point Alisrem decides to join us with his, to grace us with his presence. But for now, it will just be me. Just got invited to the lobby as well. Perfect. Now basically we just hope that everything works, of course. I need to refresh. Alright. So, first game for Foxnyr. Scrims so far, I of course have a little bit of insight on the scrims, right? So I know that they were going well. The team is ready to play. Enemies already asking for the link, so never mind. I don't even have to do it. Undernexus was faster than me. Thank you very much. And we're hyped for some banger games. I can't wait to see how the boys perform. Let's take a quick look at Echo Peacocks. They played together last split already, if I'm not mistaken. I think they swapped 1 or 2 players out from last split. So they were very flexible in the playoffs. I think they unfortunately didn't manage to get through the Division 4 playoffs. But they did get to the playoffs, so they're at least a team to be wary of. And other than that, I don't have too much info. Just don't have to, and can't forget to, it's actually really weird. Every time I cast, I need to change my main screen because I have an ultra wide screen here basically. And it looks super weird for you guys if I, play League or share League in ultra wide. So I always have to swap to this screen here on the left. So I always have to sit like this and watch as well instead of just being able to watch normally. But it's absolutely fine. So let's see if we can get the... It's asking if I can get an OP to GG. Stifler already doesn't feel like doing an interview. I would like to do an interview after the game, of course, because it's always fun to hear what the players say about specific game moments and specific picks and everything. But it seems like Stifler at least would prefer not to do it. Players are always so scared of the cameras, scared of the spotlight. Even though that's kind of part of being, part of being a player. But hey, who am I to judge, right? Let's see. I think we're waiting for Underlexers to be ready. And then we can head into the first game. So for anyone who's new to Prime League, basically, you play 2 games, like a best of 2 every week. And you can either win, you get 3 points, or you get a win for winning. You can draw by playing 1-1, or you can of course lose. But you only play 2 games. It's always just per match day you play 2 games. And in the end, every team has played 14 games, basically. So today as well, we're gonna have 2 games for sure. And then we'll see how our standing is. And then next week, it's gonna be exciting because our second roster has to play 2 matches next week. Then this team has to play their match, of course. And then I also have to play 2 of my matches because I play myself as well. So basically, I have five match days that I want to see, that I want to be at. Let's see if I can find the time somehow to participate in those in all 5 match days. Okay, there we go. I got the OPWG of the enemies. I see a scary Kha'Zix, so I wouldn't be surprised that this gets banned off the table. But I could also see it being open because, Kha'Zix is more a bit of a solo queue-ish pick. So we'll see what they do. But it looks like the players are ready. So I think we're gonna head into Champ Select in a second. I said that I'm ready. Now let's hope that the Champ Select tool works. It does. But the sides are wrong. Let me quickly swap that. Boom. I'm so happy that I can do that on the fly. It's really nice. So we got Foxnyr on the red side this time. So with the counter pick, of course. And then we got Echo Peacocks on the blue side. Are they in pick phase? They just got into pick phase, as you can see. And there he is. There's the Kha'Zix ban that I thought. Other than that, maybe a Yone ban I could imagine. Maybe a Zac ban as well. It's going to be the Graves. I think they're just targeting their, potentially best player of the enemy team, which is the jungler. So I could imagine an Ivern ban, maybe a Zac ban. And other than that, it's hard. Maybe an Xayah ban, because they want to abuse bot lane. And Xayah is always, a safe pick. There we go. There is the Xayah ban. Jinx is as well off the table. Echo Peacocks looking to secure one of the other strongest ADCs in the meta right now, being the Kai'Sa, of course. Now let's see what Foxnyr chooses to answer with. Of course, Stifler having more than enough picks to be able to counter this Kai'Sa pick. And it looks like they're gonna potentially go for the Ashe. Maybe we can see an Ashe Milio come out here. Always a bit scary to blind pick Emilio, so maybe they just go for Ashe jungle here. I wouldn't be surprised with that either. The Jarvan is still open, the Poppy is still open, Maokai is still open, Ivern. A lot of strong picks right now. Don't forget that we're playing on the new patch with the jungle changes. So I think overall, junglers get a bit less XP. It's harder for them to get ahead by a big amount, basically. So we have to see if we choose to go for a bit of a farming jungle here or actually a flexible one, but we are going for the top. Renekton, of course, being a very strong blind pick and a good pick for Brook as well. But it's always good to get that on our side. Good first rotation, Ashe Renekton, I like it a lot personally. Of course, Echo Peacocks being very happy getting the Kai'Sa too. Now, of course, you want to pair this with some engage. I wouldn't be surprised to see a support pick here or in the next one. But it looks like they're going to go for the Rumble, which I presume is going top lane. But you always have that little chance of a... I don't know if Rumble jungle is still a thing. I haven't seen it too much recently, but of course, you know, the flexibility of this pick is always there. Now I wonder if they're again going to either open the flex and just go for jungle, or they pick the support. Now Braum is good into engage, of course. Not that good into enchanters. That's why we also see the Karma over here. Karma, one of the known counters into Braum. Becomes very hard to play for him. And just gets poked down. Will never get prio. Milio, of course, a bit less oppressive than the Karma. But as Milio, you just want to scale. You're happy to just relax in lane. A really good combo with the Ashe as well, of course. So in this case, we have the Ashe Milio. Ashe Milio, of course, very obnoxious because of the attack range that you get from the campfire, right? With the slows of Ashe, it usually means that, not like without using Ghost or a Blink ability or a jump or whatever, it's very hard to get away from the Ashe. So we'll see how the Echo Peacock bot lane deals with that. Now Yone off the table. Yone a strong mid lane pick, of course. Seraph, a bit of a respect ban I expect towards Inspire. Known for his Seraph. Had a really good Seraph performance in the calibration phase as well. Next to that, the Jarvan ban. Like I said, the Jarvan, of course, being a very strong pick right now. And so they're expecting that the Rumble is going top in this case. And then the Orianna ban. Orianna just being one of the strongest mid laners in the current meta, on the current patch. Just being very obnoxious. Gets played a lot in Worlds as well. Or like has very high prio in Worlds. Sorry, sometimes talking is a bit hard. And it looks like we're just going to take away the Zek from Echo Peacocks. I'm just going to call him Echo. Echo Peacocks is too long. We're taking away the Zek. Now I wonder what Echo will answer with. There are of course a lot of good picks into it. Like you can always go for the Poppy, for example. Is a pretty good pick into it. Or you just go for a tank jungle yourself with the Sejuani. Sejuani, of course, being able to cancel the Zek mid-air with her Q. So, of course, not a bad pick at all. And now to finish the comp, they need a mid laner. Or it's Rumble mid, also a possibility, right? But they will look to go for a mid laner. Hovering the Nico right now. Nico, of course, also really strong. I wonder what Inspire will choose to pick against the Nico. I personally hate playing as Nico because as good as you look at all the minions, if you count the minions and everything, it's just so hard to keep a full focus on that the whole game. And at some point, there will be a random ward or a random blast cone standing somewhere to surprise you. I'm guessing it will not be the Teemo. And it's interestingly enough going to be the Lux mid. Surprised by that, not gonna lie. But we know Inspire as someone who tends to go for some weirder, or no, I won't say weird, but some more abstract mid lane picks is what I'm gonna call it. So I'm excited to see how this will go. Like they have a lot of pick potential. They have the Ashe ult, of course. You can hook with you can fish with the Lux Qs, of course, with the bindings. And next to that, of course, you have Zek who can just engage from downtown, basically. Strong top lane matchup. I am not 100% sure how the Renekton Rumble matchup is, as I just haven't seen Rumble too much recently. But I can presume that it's not that bad, at least, for the Renekton. If any top laner is in chat, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not 100% sure. As for mid lane, Lux should be in a fine enough position to just be in the back somewhere, farm safely, poke for E, to never really give Nico and Sejuani an opening to gank her. And other than that, Kai'Sa not the happiest with the Braum matchup in this case, because she wants someone who can engage, right? And Braum technically can, he's just not the greatest engage champion. And especially into Emilio and Ashe, it will become very, very hard if that Q misses. Like if Braum jumps in, Q misses, he will take a big chunk of his health and in damage, and he will never be able to, or he should never be able to reach the enemy bot lane to get that frostbite stack, I have no idea. Get that Q off base, or get the passive stack off. So it should be very, very hard for them to get onto the Ashe Emilio. Kai'Sa opting for the cleanse, which I think only makes sense with Ashe and Lux being in the enemy team, right? You have to be able to cleanse that and just somehow get away. Well, Ashe, of course, with a bit less danger. You have the Emilio behind you, of course, who can play cleanse for you, basically. And only really she has the Braum, again, the Braum stack, the Nico stun, and the Sejuani ult. I guess those are a bit the biggest dangers. But I think overall she should be fine with that. Also with the peel that Zac and Lux will provide. And Emilio, of course, she should always be in a safe position. So I think Ghost there makes a lot of sense. We see Nico opting for the Ignite. So she wants to kill mid lane. That's like, I think that will be the main attack point for Echo in this case. That they're gonna try and abuse the Lux mid lane. Of course, Lux not being super mobile, so it's really hard for her to get away if she gets caught at some point. But of course, also again, like I stated before, she can stay away pretty far, farm pretty safely. You know, hit the poke down, and it should be very, very hard for Echo to find these openings. But we'll have to see if Papa Bear can find some interesting pathings to the jungle and maybe get in from behind, for example. So I think Vision will play a very important role for this in mid lane at least. And I wonder where Zac will be looking. Of course, you can always play around with Renekton. Renekton has a good setup. Rumble also not the best at getting away from things. So if they can lock the Rumble down, it should be a very free lane for the Renekton at that point. But also, I think it's actually very, very hard to predict where Zac wants to go, because he has set up mid lane as well, of course, again, like with the bindings, with the slow of the E, everything. But he also just has a lot of setup on bot lane. Less straight up CC setup, but a lot of slows. Like, it's very, very, again, like I said, with the campfire, it's very, very hard to get away from the Ashe Emilio. But in a couple of seconds, we are looking to load into the game. We once again pray that that everything just works. That Riot doesn't choose to bully us today. I forgot to change the left side's name, so I'm gonna do Echo Peacocks. There we go. And once we're loaded in, I'm gonna head us over into game. Super excited again. First matchup, first match day of the main team. I can't wait to see how they perform, to see how they play. Let's see if everything works. So far, my OBS doesn't seem to. I'm in game now. All right, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna head into the first game of Foxnyr versus Echo Peacocks. Let's go. So excited. Let's see if we are going to get any shenanigans for the early levels. I don't think so. I think both teams just want to do the standard 5-point cover in this case, as you can see happening right now. I just noticed that I didn't get anything to drink, which is very unfortunate because my mouth is already dry. But we will be fine, I am sure. Again, a very standard 5-point cover, nothing special happening right now. Sejuani, Zek, at least for now, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. It felt like a bit too far. There we go. This should be better. For now, it doesn't seem like very much is going to happen. Sejuani looking to start bot side. Zek also moving in bot side. Q just missing very slightly. Second Q also missing. And Zek gets that ward off on the chicken camp, which will give Foxnyr enough information on where Sejuani plans on going. Both junglers starting bot. Zek on the wolves and Sejuani on the rep buff, both leashless. So the speed of the clear should be very similar, of course. Ashe and Milo already starting off being very annoying in the trades. Ashe, of course, with her W, with the slow, and Milo with the little passive burn. He needs to be a bit careful, but he's fine. Kai'Sa cannot follow up on the Q. Whereas Alisrim, I think he is very tired from the LAN. So it seems like I'm going to be doing this solo. If you want, you can join me to be a hype man. If you want. But for now, it seems like I'm going to do this one alone. Maybe he will join for game 2. We'll have to see. But that is absolutely fine. A little bit of poke, landing on both sides in the mid lane. Kai'Sa already losing a lot of HP. Starting with the Dorn's Blade and one pot. And she has to be careful with what she does with her HP. Everything very even right now. Sejuani on her wolves. Big hit by the Nico. And you already see with just the Ashe Milo being close to allowed to do what they want. And that Ashe with that Giga range is being able to poke down the Braum a little bit. Now Spire needs to be careful, misses the Q and gets hit by basically everything by the Nico. Has the shield, of course, so is pretty much fine. Both Jarns in the same position. Rumble needs to be careful now, though. He's pushing in and Zek is topside. So if he steps up too far, it can be a very dangerous situation there. This Ashe is so bad. Nah, come on. Don't do Stifler like that. Not my boy Stifler. Again, like I said, Rumble needs to be a bit careful. They have Foxnyr has a good ward on the top side, so they can see if Sejuani will potentially go for the counter again. So they spot her now on that ward. Oh, Lux needs to be careful. She has no mana. Nico has the ignite. I think he will have to flash. I'm surprised that Nico doesn't go for the ignite there. Of course, it will be an ignite for cleanse trade, which I think is worth it. Just getting rid of that cleanse makes it a lot easier to gank the Lux. Choosing not to go for that, of course. See campfire being used. Means enemies have to run. Very hard to play. Renekton going in for a small trade while the flamethrower is active. Oh, it doesn't seem to be just a small trade. Renekton looking for the all-in. He has the rage. Will he get his abilities up? No, he will not. And his first blood for the Rumble in a little solo bolo. Meanwhile, Nico getting ganked, has to run away. No in-game sound. Oh, that is... Thank you very much. That should be fixed now. There we go. Zek being forced out, but nothing to be coming from that. Thank you for the quick heads up. Again, I didn't have that much preparation time before the match, so I needed to do everything a bit quickly, and I forgot to unmute League. Now Ashe Milo looking for a recall. Top lane, of course, being unfortunate. I think Brook thought that he could wait long enough, wait out the time to then go for a flash stun, flash dash W. Nico going for the fancy invisible play. Gets hit by the binding though. And probably loses a bit more HP than she would want to. Foxnyr pinged the top side. I think that Sejuani is around the top side. Sejuani is clearing up from bot lane right now. Repov not being quite up yet. And now with that first kill to the Rumble, with that little lead, he does already hurt quite a lot. Oh, Sejuani flash. Lux has the flash, of course. And that's a flash trade, which is always good for a jungler, of course. You will always trade your flash for the enemy mid laner flash. Lux still playing pretty cocky though, even though he doesn't really have the HP to play around. Milo playing very aggressive. Braum Q is out. Shield is out now too. This could be a potential little trade pattern they could go for here. They choose not to. Zac is around. Lux gets the ult hit. And now Nico is also similarly low to the Lux. But mana seems to become an issue at this point. While bot lane grabs himself a plating. Basically for free. Looking at the CS as well, even though Brook did get that little solo bolo on himself, he's still leading in CS by about 2 waves. So I think he overall is pretty fine in that situation right now. And Zac is moving in. The wave is pushing into Brook. Zac is trying to sneak his way into the bush. It is a level 5 Zac. He should have a pretty decently long E. He's jumping in top lane. But the spectators know, as they saw the Zac jump miss. Oh, wait, never mind. Rumble ult comes out. A lot of damage on him. They just don't seem to have enough. The question is, will they go for the dive? They have Zac passive, of course. If Zac can hit this Q, he just go for... Oh, okay. There you go. No Q needed. He just goes for the jump. And that is a kill for the Brook. For the Brook in the top lane. The Mr. Crocodile. One of his favorite champions, of course. Now Stifler needs to be a bit careful. Nice football by Under Nexus. He gets to flash away. Sejuani ult is already used. Ooh, this is going to be a very long CC chain into the Ashe. But they do both manage to get away. 4 sums used. But they manage to survive. But Echo will gladly take this. So that was 4 sums for 0 basically. Under Nexus just not having ult yet to save his ADC from all the CC. They basically had to run away, pray. And now Echo is going for the Drake. Well, Zac of course took the Herald in the meantime, because he knew that Sejuani was bot. That was a free objective. Now looking around mid lane, Zac is level 6 now. Nico has a flash, that's a free flash traded from, not traded, free flash mid lane. That is something the Lux will take for sure. Now Zac needs to be a little bit careful. The Q from Braum misses, which means he can just waddle away. And now looking at the CS, of course, mid lane should be pretty even after Nico gets this wave. But a little bit of a CS lead. ADC, of course, you saw they were permanently on the tower, permanently pushing in the enemy bot lane. Which means that Ashe should have a pretty good gold lead. And now they should be looking to try and freeze-ish that bot lane. No, they can't. It's slow pushing for sure. Actually, not slow pushing. It's pushing for sure. Which means they will look to get some more platings down there. And now, of course, with the crystal arrow being up in a bit, or now, basically, they can look for some solo kills as well. Kai'Sa still, of course, has all the sums, both flashes still up for the enemy bot lane. But they have to be a bit careful though. Sejuani is bot side. They will expect her to be top side, I am guessing, as she was just bot. And all her camps are up in the top side. And they need to be a bit careful. Braum, of course, having ult now as well. Sejuani ult is back up. And they will choose to head off. Luxu misses. Nico has no flash, of course. Zac also misses, but gets the Q off into the Lux ult. And with the W, that was a dead Nico. But on the other side of the map, like I said, Sejuani is still being bot. Being there to catch the Milo off guard. Of course, Milo having no sums. Means Echo Peacocks take a kill back. But you lose a very, very big wave in the mid lane. Oh, Sejuani actually looking for the Lux. Lux has flash. Renekton is around too. This should be a free kill for Foxnyr. They're looking for the Braum, of course. Braum with the unstoppable will. A very, very tanky target to get down. But maybe Brook can at least get one more plating. It doesn't seem like he can. Nico is there in time to clear the wave. But that is 2 kills over to Foxnyr there. And 3 platings. Which will do a lot of work for Zac and Lux's pockets, of course. And Renekton also being around to assist on that kill. Bot lane still hard shoving in. Renekton now being up by 30 farm. Even after the rough solo bolo, let me call it like that. That's another plating for the bot lane. Nico now moving down, they have to be a bit careful. Spire already pinging it. Nico noticing the bot lane backing off, so she chooses to return back to the mid lane as well. Zac now once again in a bush in top lane. Oh, Lux gets the combo off. That's a lot of damage on the Nico. But so it is on the Lux. Now Zac jumping in. He does have his Q. There are minions around. Zac has passive, of course. He can just tank forever. Now he needs to be a bit careful though. Rumble is overheated. There isn't that much he can do. Brook trying to block the E. Didn't work. But Rumble managing to get away with a sliver of HP. Now Sejuani around. Nice sniff by Cerberus. We're going on Sejuani. Of course, Sejuani is still having flash. Rumble is around too. Lux is moving from the mid lane. Bot lane is fighting now, and this is the moment I'm saying so. Here, Ashe with Campfire. Campfire now sadly running out. Ooh, Ashe ult being used. Really, really nicely played by the Kai'Sa. Amelia will fall here. Both sums out. Oh, and Braum with the great unstoppable will. Just denying those... Just denying the auto attacks from the Ashe. And a very, very nice play by the Echo Peacocks bot lane. To go for the 2-1 solo bolo. And there is the Nico with the ult. Lux is gonna try to get away. That is another repeat gank on the Rumble. Rumble flashing away. Lux also flashing away. Nico probably would have wanted to follow that, but he didn't have flash himself just yet. Very, very scrappy and messy game so far. But very, very enjoyable to watch. I have to be honest. Oof, we spilled the juice. Yeah, it's a bit messy here and there. But overall, if you check the gold lead so far, thanks to all the big farm advantages we have in all the lanes so far, we are still up by 1.6k. Not the biggest lead, of course, could be bigger. Kai'Sa now being a very, very scary player. Now bot lane needs to be careful. Sejuani is around here. I see move, of course. Milo not having ult. Nice kick, nice ball. Now Ashe looks to return at least a little bit of damage on the Braum. And that's gank neglected. Zac now being around too. I am not 100% sure they want to fight this. Zac face checking into the Sejuani. He knew that she was there. Was clearing some minions. Gets the ult off on the Nico. Needs to be careful now though. Nico flashes after him, and that is going to be a dead Lux. Ooh, she does get her combo off. This should be a kill for Zac. Zac doesn't get in range quite as far as he wants to, and that is 2 more kills for Echo Peacocks. 4-0 Kai'Sa at this point. And now the boys need to start to be a bit careful. The lead is still in their favor, but it's unfortunately not as much as they want anymore. Just some oversteps here and there. Now, under Nexus needs to be careful. Braum ult use. He has to flash out. Sifler for some reason being very, very far forward, even though they knew that they were doing Drake. And it's going to be another kill. Maybe 2 kills. Kai'Sa has no ult, of course, but Messi doesn't have flash. So Messi falls. Yeah, a bit of a scrappy and uncoordinated play here. Not gonna lie. It's very unfortunate. With this, the gold is now close to dead even. Let's see if Echo Peacocks manage to continue pushing their advantage in this game. Or Foxnyr can look to take some breaths, take them to relax just a little bit. And just play the better macro game. Back around the bot side. Herald is up. Our Nectar needs to be careful. He feels like he has to do a lot. His team is crumbling around the map. He's very strong. But now with Sejuani around, nice dodge on the ice swing. And he just uses the Sejuani as a jumping stone to quickly get out of that gank. Very nicely played by him there. Everyone's slowly completing their first items. Lux being a bit ahead over the Nico. Thanks to that farm lead that he has built up. Now, of course, the waves just basically instantly disappearing when Lux wants that. Level 2 ult also means there's basically no more cooldown on that. And you can see in the top lane, the Renekton being up by 36 farm. Oh, very nice catch. This should just be a dead Nico. And it is. Now Braum and Sejuani catch a bit. Finding themselves on the wrong side of the map. Nice Q by the Lux. No mana left in the tank though. Which means they're gonna just take the kill. Look to grab that blue buff from the enemy team. Braum is staying though, so is Sejuani. They know Lux has no mana, Lux has no TP. So this will be a 3 versus 2-ish for a bit. If Echo Fox though. That's also a team. Echo Peacocks choose to go for it. That was a good play. A clean 1 for 0. Nice binding catch by the Lux, of course. Meaning that was just a simple kill. Nico not having flash yet, because he used flash to kill the Lux in the dragon fight. Nicely timed, nicely punished. And now we're slowly heading into the mid game. Again, everyone at 1 item. Braum not quite yet. But shouldn't be too far off. We can take a quick look at the gold differences per role. You can see in the top lane, the Renekton being up by about 1k gold. So is Jungle. And mid lane, surprisingly enough, after that assist he got, is now up by 1.5k gold almost. Or quite about 1.5k gold. Which I actually did not expect it. And even though the Kai'Sa is 5-0-1, thanks to the platings that were gotten, the first tower, that I think it was the first tower down bot lane, Ashe is only behind about 1k gold. And of course the supports are close to even, which also a bit surprising though, because, well, we have James Bond on Echo Peacock's side. Kai'Sa getting that shared red buff, of course. And now you see both teams hovering around the bot side. Drake is up in a minute. Braum stepping up a bit far. Lux Q just misses, but you can see the damage that he already did there. Lux mid, what the fuck? Yeah, I don't know. It's an Inspire special, I guess. My boy Inspire always likes to go for the weird picks. And here's Sejuani getting caught off guard a bit. If the Q hits, they might be able to go for that. But without the Q hitting, he just jumps out and everything is fine. Now Drake spawning in 25 seconds. Both teams have 4 members on this bot side. Echo Peacocks using that Herald to get that mid lane pressure and prio up. Zac cannot connect his second Q. We'll look to jump mid lane to help defend against that Herald. Now we see Renekton moving down. Rumble is going back, so Rumble will look to TP down bot lane. Braum is stepped pretty far up. Can Lux hit the... Braum has to flash. This is an easy jump for the Zac. Ooh, very nice wombo combo. This is the Kai'Sa dead. The strongest star. Big Nico ult though. Ashe managing to flash away. The Rumble falls down now too. Big huge binding by the... Big and huge, both at the same time. Binding by Inspire. And that's a clean ace and the Drake for Foxnyr. And they're already spamming the Baron. Inspire being a little bit of an anti-mate running bot. He wanted that wave. But he's also joining in on the fun at Baron. Very, very nicely done by Foxnyr. Really good Nico ult as well, but it just was not enough there to secure that fight. Braum overstepping just a little bit, having to flash early, use his ult to try and keep the enemies out of the pit. But just wasn't quite tanky enough to do so. Zac, swap trinket, please. I disagree a bit on that. Because we have Renekton with the sweeper in this case. Usually, I agree, you have the sweeper on the jungler instead of on the top laner. And then you have usually have a normal ward as well on the top laner. But Zac chooses to go for the sweeper as well. So we have 3 sweepers now and no ward. But I think both choices there were fine, in my opinion. Now it's going to be a little bit of a stalemate. With that dragon being down, Baron being taken, of course. And we can, let's see. Talking is hard sometimes. We will have to see what Foxnyr does with this Baron. At least they should get the top lane outer turret for free with this Baron. Nico moving up to try and defend that. Brook pushing the bot lane. Slowly moving in behind them. They might look to go for a play mid lane here. Well, Sejuani is looking... Oh, that's a nice ult on the Kai'Sa. Just no cleanse yet. And here comes Brook. Nice knockup by the Braum. It won't be enough though. Kai'Sa is forced to ult in. And that is Kai'Sa picked off. Now Braum in a bit of a sticky situation. But Zac just not having the range. Now Rumble ult being used to try and clear the wave. Of course, not doing as much damage on these minions thanks to the Baron buff. Zac is looking to jump in. Rumble has to flash away. Ooh, he just doesn't get in range for the minion. Sifler killing the minions, which means Zac cannot go for the auto attack there. And now Brook is going to move bot. He has TP up. He will push in the bot lane wave to force someone to defend against him. While the rest of Foxnyr are looking top to get this top lane tower. They can take the blue buff, take the whole enemy jungle in the meantime as well. Well, only the blue buff is up. But Inspire will very gladly take this. Well, Ashe is just hitting the tower. Nico has to show herself. She thinks she wanted to become a minion there. Braum stepping up a bit far. He might have the unstoppable will. But he does not have unstoppable defense, I guess. I'm trying to go for some funny word puns here. That is another kill for Foxnyr. After a little bit of a messy early game, Sejuani finds the Zac here. Doesn't choose to go for anything. Of course, being one member weaker. Ooh, the Ashe ult just missing. Zac choosing to jump in though. Nice knock up on the Nico. Doesn't even go into the passive thanks to the Emilio ult. And with that, they get the tower. And just choose to waddle away. Baron buff now getting close to the end. I think it will time off any second. I know the Stifler guy in real life. He's pretty hot, takes all girls. I believe you in that. I will take your word. Now, dragon spawning in a little bit more than a minute. Another blue buff being taken for Inspire. I don't think he can ever have too many blue buffs. Especially as Lux, who just wants to spam her abilities right. I would have potentially waited a little bit with taking it. Just let it lie there for a couple, like 10 seconds longer. Just so you have it longer. But I don't think, maybe it's not worth the tempo. Zac finding the Sejuani in jungle. Foxnyr making sure that their mid lane wave is pushing. Before they move into the jungle together. Where's the Foxy emote? We cannot have it yet, as we don't have affiliate yet. You can only have emotes when you have affiliate. But if I am not mistaken, after today's stream, we should have the affiliate in our bag, which means we will start to get some cool Foxy emotes for the chat spam by our wonderful artist as well, of course. Now Zac jumping in, the Lux Q just missing. Braum again stuck in an awkward situation. Ooh, big looks ult, Rumble dropping very low. Oh, Zac just gets cancelled midair. I need to be a bit careful. Messi just not getting hit. Rumble chasing the Lux, just doesn't have enough damage. Kai'Sa going in on the Zac. I think he watched PSG play today, and he thought I can do that too. He saw Wacko go in. And Zac holding off everyone, while Sejuani is also being chased. And that's a 2-for-1 in Foxnyr's favor. Kai'Sa, of course, not having her ult anymore. Braum doesn't have anything either. This should just be the free dragon for Foxnyr. Kai'Sa forced out by the Lux E. Maybe she can look for a steal. I don't think she can. That's the second Drake for Foxnyr. 2 Infernos now. The damage is stacking up. And they can be very, very happy with how the game is going. Now a 9k gold lead for Foxnyr. 9.3, 9.4-ish. Not the cleanest of games. Rough early game. But it seems like they are very much in control of the game right now. Baron spawning in 20 seconds. This will be the next target. Gold. I see gold in chat. Yeah, the gold lead is about 10k, a bit less. Oh, you want to see the gold leads between the players? That's what you mean, I think. We can look at top lane. I mean, top lane is just up by 3.2k himself. Jong also by 1.8. Mid lane being ahead by 4k gold. Like 1.5 items almost ahead of the Nico. And now even bot lane, Ashe, after the terrible early game, is ahead now. While Sejuani gets caught. Oh, big Nico into the Rumble. Ashe actually has to be careful. Nico getting caught by the Renekton though. Kai'Sa ulting in. Will he get the Ashe? Braum gets the shutdown on the Ashe, but Kai'Sa falls for that. And with this, Foxnyr can go for the Baron. It will be a bit of a slow Baron as their main damage dealer did fall. Actually, the Baron is not as slow as I expected it to be. Of course, if an Ashe would have been there, it would have been nice too. Now Rumble pushing in the mid wave, making sure that Foxnyr at least loses something for it. He's pinging bot lane. He'll try to answer this Baron by getting the bot lane tower. But I don't think Brook will allow this. As Renekton has TP up, he will spot the Rumble in the bot lane. Chooses not to TP for it. I would actually expected it. But as the wave is just not close enough to the tower, he can just run bot lane and it's absolutely fine too. Let's see if he will manage to defend that low life tower. He of course wants to keep his TP for his team when they choose to move in either top lane or mid lane. Oh, Ashe ult looking for the Kai'Sa, just missing. We only saw it on the minimap unfortunately. They're just going wide. Always good to try. If it hits there, you either get the cleanse or Lux just one-shots the Kai'Sa. Oh, Sejuani looking on the Lux. Kai'Sa ulting into. Milio is of course around. Now the Renekton TP that I was talking about. Everything being used on the Lux. Lux hitting a very, very big binding, and that is 3 kills over to Foxnyr. Well, now Nico is being engaged on by the Zac. Zac jump just missing, but Rumble getting hit. Renekton dashing into the enemy team. Nico getting a one-man ult on the Zac, not the target you want to get, and now everyone from Echo Peacocks falls. And this should be game at this point for Foxnyr. Again, a bit of a messy early game, not gonna lie. The early game could have been cleaner. But I'm glad to see the boys sticking together. Focusing up, taking a deep breath. And that's the 1-0 for Foxnyr. Let's go. That is very big. That's the first game. First 1-0. Foxnyr yet to be defeated in a normal 5v5 match. I'm very happy about that. And now I am going to ask them if we can take a very short break. Because like I said before the game, I forgot to grab a drink. And your boy is thirsty. So I wouldn't mind being able to grab a quick drink. Let me just make sure that is fine with everyone. You see? If not, we will just continue. That is fine by me too. But yeah, after a not that great early game, you know, we have to be honest here. Wasn't the best, wasn't the cleanest. The team managed. Okay, I'm gonna just go lol. I get that answer. Nice. Right, I'm gonna then quickly take a short 3-minute break, and then we will back. We will back. I am caveman. We will be back for game number 2 of today's Prime League match, and we will see each other in a short bit. See you then. And we are back for game number 2, boys. Very, very hyped. Very, very hyped. Again, rough game number 1. I mean, rough early game. The mid game and late game was fully in control after Foxnyr got that ace at the dragon pit. From that moment on, it seemed like Echo Peacocks were a bit lost on the map, getting caught here and there, overforcing things. Potentially just feeling the pressure of the game come up, feeling the pressure of the comeback. Or I mean, it wasn't really a comeback. It was Foxnyr was ahead by a lot in the early game, just by pure farm leads and map leads, and like tower platings and everything. But Echo Peacocks managed to find some fights, like a good 2v2 bot lane as well. Basically solo killing. Well, not basically, they 2v2 killed Stifler and Undernexus. But definitely were some highlight moments there for everyone. But at some point, once the late game started, it just became very hard. And the boys are already asking if the cast is ready, and of course, I am always ready when they are. Let me just quickly swap champ select music, because why not? You know, I have a couple of them ready. And there we go, we're heading into champ select number 2. Game number 2. 1-0 up for Foxnyr. And we see the same ban. The Kazik being banned for the first ban rotation. Let's see if Echo Peacocks choose to... The beer back music was a bit loud. Okay, I will make sure that it's lower either for next stream or for this stream. I will have to see. Because there shouldn't be a beer back anymore, right? The Emilio being banned. They don't want to deal with that champion anymore. I wonder, there are a couple of champions that are very strong in the meta right now. That are very blue side first pick worthy. Like for example, the Jinx is very strong. The Orianna is also super strong. Wouldn't be surprised for either of those two to be picked as a first pick if they're not banned. Enemy jungler, of course, being focused. Just pretty much the same as last game. Same 2 bans so far. Only Echo Peacocks really choosing to change their approach and going for the Rel again. I think they banned the Rel last game as well, so that that didn't change. And alright, let's see what Foxnyr chooses to go for. They go for the Xayah again, same as the last game. So Foxnyr says, oh, this worked. We're gonna go for the same ban rotations again. We don't have to change anything. And let's see. There are 2 power picks left. They choose to ban the Kai'Sa, so they value the Kai'Sa bigger, more over the Jinx. And here we have the Jinx insta-lock by Foxnyr. Now Peacocks hovering the Ashe. Do they just want to counter the Jinx with the Ashe? Not 100% sure if that does counter. At some point the Jinx will just outrange you. But let's see if Echo Peacocks chooses to go for this pick. And they do. Now I expect the jungler to come out here. We indeed see a jungler. It could of course be flex to our top or support. But I'm gonna presume that it is the jungler. So what will Cerberus choose to answer with in this case? Of course, something like the Iron is still open. Very strong right now. Even the Jarvan is also still open. There are a couple of strong picks that are still left on the table. Zac could also be a potential pick again. Of course, Ashe not being very mobile. And we have the Morgana. Now the Morgana pick, since last patch, has regained some priority in drafts overall. It's the same for my team, for example. Morgana has regained some priority there. Now the interesting thing is, of course, Morgana, you can technically, after the buffs she got, is playable in the jungle again. But it's also a really good support together with the Jinx. Just being able to black shield that Ashe arrow, the crystal arrow. And it looks like we're gonna have a Brook special Sion on the top lane. Now Peacocks go for the Seraphine. Now it's actually interesting. Technically, of course, you can put the Seraphine ADC or like APC, right, and have the Ashe be the support. Don't think that's going to happen. I think this is going to be just a normal Seraphine support. But of course, with the Ashe slows, Seraphine can hit her easier. Not just easier, she can hit her ease and instantly root because the enemy is slowed. It's a good known combo, well-known combo that has been picked quite a lot. So, good matchup, I think. It's harder into the Morgana, of course. Surprisingly enough, I played this matchup today as well, which is quite funny. But yeah, we'll see how both teams deal with it. The bans on the second phase seem to be exactly the same. Seraph and Orianna for the Echo side. And the Yone plus, what will the final ban be? Either a top laner or a mid laner. The Nico, they didn't like playing against the Nico, or I guess Inspire didn't like to play against it. So they choose to ban the Nico away this time. With Nico, they would have quite some AP damage. I wouldn't be surprised to see a AD mid laner come out here either. They will have to blind one of the two. Either mid lane or top lane. Or break open the flex of the Maokai, of course. But it seems like they're going to blind pick the Aatrox top into the Sion. I think, if I remember correctly, that's a pretty good matchup for the Aatrox. But overall, of course, the Sion does skills. You can do the bow special and it should be fine. Maokai flex, nice joke? What do you mean? Why you mean nice joke? You What do you mean, nice joke? I don't know if you saw like win rates, but I think it was either last patch or the patch before that. Maokai jungle was highest win rate supported at some point in Master Plus. So, and I personally played it in competitive a couple games as well. I wouldn't be too surprised to see Maokai, but in this case it's supported will not go anymore, and top lane I don't think it will go either, especially with the Aatrox, so it is locked in for the jungle, and it looks like we're gonna get the Inspire Special Varus mid lane. Very, very excited. And with the Rakan lock-in, of course, from before, like last pick, means Morgana is gonna be jungle, which is very, very interesting, and I'm excited to see how they manage to handle that pick. Now, what does Echo go for here against the Varus? They know it's Varus mid. Can't be the Jinx mid, right? So they know that much, and they choose to go for the Vex. I mean, seems like a good, okay matchup. I'm not 100% sure. Of course, Varus doesn't have any mobility, so he doesn't care too much about the passive. Of course, a little bit annoying for Rakan. If Vex plays it right, then it will be a bit harder for Rakan to engage. Of course, on the other hand, if Rakan plays it right, then it will be harder for Vex to do anything against him. Overall, a bit more of a squishy team on Foxnyr side. Of course, they have the very, very beefy Cyan, but the rest are all a bit more squishy. Except for maybe Rakan going probably with the Radiant Virtue build. That has gained a lot of priority in the last couple of patches on Rakan. Just allowing him to be a bit more tanky, to go in with his ult and not instantly get popped. Or even if he peels someone, right? If someone jumps on your ADC, you ult and peel them, you can heal your ADC up. It's a very, very good item to build on Rakan right now. Which still gives him the flexibility to do basically everything. And just not get one shot if you get hit by one little thing. Morgana Maokai, I am not 100% sure how the matchup is. I can imagine that Morgana is absolutely fine. Morgana, of course, once you get a couple of points into your W, I think at least you put points in your W in jungle. I'm not 100% sure of that either. You get, you have a lot of jungle clear at that point. Varus Vex, of course, will be very interesting. Vex not having any mobility either means she is a bit in danger of the full Varus combo. But we will see if he can hit those ults and those piercing arrows, if I'm not mistaken. And bot lane, of course. Bot lane is scary, both for both sides. You know, if a W hits, you'll take a lot of damage. That W max, okay, same, I expected that. More out farm the Maokai, get more value for that. 1v1 is kind of whatever. True, but even though 1v1 I think is actually not that bad for Morgana either. As you can kind of just spell shield the Maokai W whenever he wants to use that on you. Then you follow up by hitting a Q on him, W him, and just basically walk out. And then you've already won the trade. Doesn't matter too much though. But of course, with Rakan, Varus, Morgana, and Cyan, and even Jinx her traps, right? Foxnyr has a lot of CC. Every champion that has a little bit of setup has some kind of engage. Technically, again, Jinx her traps, you know, you can use it as engage kind of, but you have to be very far in front, so I prefer not to. While on the other side, of course, we have the Maokai ult, we have the Vex ult even, and the Crystal Arrow and the Seraphine Scream, I'm gonna call it that for now. So both sides having enough utility to engage or to start a fight. But I think overall, I would prefer. I think I would say that Foxnyr's draft is a little bit better. It feels a bit more meta, except for the Varus pick, of course. While on the other hand, Echo's picks also feel pretty meta, except for the Vex pick. So both mid laners are just choosing to go for something fancy, I guess, for something fun. You have to see which of the two utilize it better. Of course, Echo's bot lane had a great game last game, being able to kind of outmatch the Foxnyr bot lane in that game. Of course, with a little bit of help with the jungler, but they did manage to get that 1v1 at some point. So definitely not bad by them. And in a couple of seconds, we will head into a game again. As always, hoping that Riot allows me to get into the spectate lobby. You know, sometimes, you know, Riot, you know the client. Sometimes it just doesn't like to work as it's intended to. But very, very excited for this game number 2 of the first match day out of 7 match days. So we have a lot more to come. And again, next week or coming week, but 2 officials from the second team, from Foxnyr Finest, and we got 1 more official from this team. And the fun part is the official for Foxnyr Finest is, one of the officials from Foxnyr Finest is against my old team, which is also pretty fun. Of course, that I would love to be able to cast that. I would have to see when it is and if I can. But for now, as you can hear by some noise in the background already, let's head into game number 2 of today's 2 games. And Foxnyr seem to go for something fancy. They're all running into that bot lane bush. Of course, with Cyan, Morgana, Rakan, you have a very, very strong level 1. Peacocks not seeming to go for anything there though. Now the question is, in calibration phase, a couple of times, Brook did exactly this, what he's doing right now. He stayed in the third bush and, well, waited for the enemy to walk right into him. Get that fully charged Q. I think he got a kill both times he did it. And then just TP top to not miss anything. So let's see if Ashe and Seraphine will be wary of that, or if they will walk straight into the trap. Of course, Seraphine probably starting with the Q. I say probably, but I can literally just click on her to check. Actually, she started with the E, so if Cyan does that, there is a potential for it to fail. Seraphine walking into it. Rakan finally knock up Ignite on the Seraphine. Seraphine having that double E, but it doesn't matter. She falls and Cyan TP's top, which means she's too close to not lose anything in the top lane, and that is first blood for Foxnyr, for the Cyan. 3 out of 3. And now Ashe needs to be a bit careful from the Rakan. Rakan just not coming in range. It will be a bit of a painful trade for him, as Ashe can just run you down, and Jinx can of course follow up, but is also not the strongest early game. Vex getting traded down by the Varus a bit. Shouldn't mind too much, has 2 pots in the inventory. Can the Q hit? No, it doesn't. Morgana already finished her first side of the jungle, while Maokai is still finishing his red buff. And will then head towards his bot side, while Morgana went for a little recall to get that Dark Seal. You know, if he finds some nice ganks, you can start stacking that, which will allow you to go for, you know, have a little bit of extra damage, which is always nice. And thanks to the faster clear Morgana has, they both almost arrive at the camp at the same time, even though Morgana went back. Has a little bit of advantage over the Maokai there. Now Cyan didn't miss too much. Vex and Varus both equally low. Varus still having the pot and cookie in his inventory though. On bot lane, have to be a bit careful. This still Ashe, it's still Seraphine. Very, very big wave as well, of course. And it seems like Ashe is going to look to go back here. Maybe get that call. Call and longsword, for example. Nice dodges by Inspire. He will look to... Oh. Rakan trying to go for the cancel, only manages to cancel Seraphine. Ashe going back and going for only a longsword. Probably she doesn't have enough for both, but chooses not to go for the call. I think that would maybe have been a good option. I could also see them wanting to win the early game, so call could possibly not be the best pick here. Now Varus needs to be a bit careful. There's a Maokai and a Seraphine. Ooh, they mistime it a little bit. Nice cleanse by the Varus, and he just flashes out. Rakan is here now too. Maokai needs to be a bit careful, but they don't seem to have any. Oh, and a big binding into the Varus Q, into the piercing piercing arrow, right to the heart of Vex, the already close to non-existing heart Vex has. And it's another kill for Foxnyr on the board. Now I need to be a bit careful. Aatrox is around. Nice Q by Cerberus, hitting all of those so far. Unfortunately, the dash did come through, so the W doesn't do that much. But, you know, a little bit of extra poke on the Aatrox there. Now, Maokai couldn't clear his bot side before. Morgana needs to be a bit careful now. He doesn't have Prio, but he has his black shield, which means he can just waddle away. Aatrox stealing one of the small chickens. And now Ashe is alone, but of course Foxnyr doesn't know that. So Cerberus getting hit by that fear. Cyan getting a lot of free time on his tower, and as we know from one of EU's favorite streamers, giving Cyan free time on the tower and free time on the Aatrox, it seems, is never a very good idea. Now Seraphine is back bot lane. Rakan will spot her in a second. This means that the angle he was looking for kind of disappears here. Everything slows down. Now Maokai needs to be a bit careful. He gets chased down by Cyan and Morgana. He doesn't have flash, and that is a free kill for the Morgana. Now up 1-0-1. And already starting to take over control of the map. Seems like Morgana being pretty good pick into the Maokai. Now Inspire, seeing that the Vex has no passive up, just goes for the trade. Can he hit the piercing arrow and the auto attack? He does, and that is another kill for mid lane. Bot lane engaging as well. Cleanse used by the Ashe. Jinx stepping up a bit far. Needs to be careful, doesn't get slowed too much. Nice little trade from bot lane there, getting that cleanse. Of course, using the ignite on Rakan's side, but that is a trade you are 100% willing to take. Seraphine missing her double E. And at this point, mid lane at least is very, very hard to play from the Vex. You already see 20 farm up. 2 kills up, a Hex Drinker completed as well, so even if Maokai chooses to gank, killing that Varus, even together in a 1v2, will be pretty hard. Now Cyan, doing some normal Cyan things, taking that plating, was walking past the Aatrox, not caring that much. Up almost 20 CS now, depending on how many minions the Aatrox gets on the tower. Morgana pinging the Drake right now. Varus is not here, so they need to be a bit careful about Vex being able to move. Vex is actually moving up. Brook is getting cancelled by the Aatrox. He will smell a Vex moving. Ashe flashes away from the Rakan W, the grand entrance. Ooh, nice traps, just not hitting though. Rakan saying, Jinx, just run. I will give my life for you. And that is a kill back for Echo Peacocks. Oh, and here the Cyan just drifting around. Ashe arrow actually hitting. Jinx choosing to go for the cleanse. Varus ulting up, hitting the Maokai. Oh, just missing the piercing arrow because of the low ground, but it doesn't matter. The Maokai still falls. The Morgana Q just missing, and with the double heal from the Seraphine, they just walk away. And only Maokai falls. Cyan somehow managing to get away, just doing a little Tokyo drift behind 4 enemy towers basically, or just choosing to go through there, and then just backporting. Rakan being the true support he is, holding the way for Inspire. Now Vex needs to be careful. She does not have flash yet, but Varus of course using the old bot lane means he doesn't have it up for here. Rakan still being level 5, doesn't have a way to engage too. Oh, the Jinx rocket hits, and that is another kill for Foxnyr. Jinx now also grabbing their first kill on the board. And will be able to push in this bot lane wave pretty fast, which means that Ashe will lose this wave as well. Just pushing that lead even further, now at a 3k gold lead. This game will become very hard for Echo to play. They're looking for Inspire here again. Like I said, they do have the Hex Drinker. Ooh, the Vex ult missing. Nice re-engage by the Rakan, meaning Varus can get his combo for free basically. And Vex dies for the 3rd time today. Her screen being as grey as her life in this game today. Maokai just trying to catch the wave against the 4-0 Varus pick. Working out very nicely for Inspire here. Of course, getting a very great assistance by the Rakan and the Morgana as well. But paid it back a bit by roaming bot. Now Rakan hits 6. Seraphine is not 6 and Morgana is behind them. Morgana also has flash up. She could choose to be greedy and just flash over the wall under tower, but I think it's something you don't have to go for in this case. So she just chooses to get the Gromp, get the enemy jungle, and slowly but surely win the game. No need to rush anything. Well, all your lanes are winning, right? Oh, Sighing going in on the Aatrox. Aatrox doesn't have flash and boop, just disappears like that. Decimating smash. Almost finishing off one last punch from One Punch Man. And he gets a solo bolo on the top lane. Gets another smack on the platings as well. And now this is a Drake for Foxnyr. As said, Maokai had to get the top lane wave. So they know he will not be around to contest. Plus they're just way stronger anyways. The Jinx running into the lane with the black shield from Morgana. Seeing if she can use that, getting excited to get anything. But the Echo bot lane seems to respect it and nothing really happening. Nothing really happens. Okay, my English today is very off. I apologize for that. Speaking multiple languages is sometimes... it's a god's gift, but also very hard. Now mid lane just hitting that tower. Vex of course taking a lot of damage from those arrows hitting. And take a look at the separate gold leads. Of course top lane. Ooh, Varus ult hits. Vex uses cleanse. Does Varus have this Q? He doesn't, and Vex just walks away. Trades the ult for the cleanse. I think that's something that the Varus will 100% take. Now Maokai is looking for bot lane, and while we wait for anything to happen, we can take a look at the gold leads. Again, top lane up by 1.8k. Zhong up by about 700 gold, and mid lane there's a big lead, 2.3k gold. Ooh, Rakan re-engaging. Maokai still behind. The arrow hits the Jinx. She doesn't choose to cleanse here. And the whole situation is kind of just slowed down. They still don't know where Maokai is. Can potentially still look for a ult here. And we finish up the summary. Bot lane being pretty much even. Jinx being up by about 100 gold. And of course support doesn't matter. Now Varus keeps on hitting mid lane tower. Almost all the platings down. Maokai did cancel his recall. Seraphine hitting the ult. Jinx of course just cleansing away. She needs to be careful. Starts tanking tower. Maokai actually choosing to go for the ult, I think. If they plays correctly. Nice ult by Rakan. The Jinx just not finishing off the Ashe. And the Seraphine also getting away with a sliver of HP. Foxnyr chooses to answer with using the Herald mid lane, which will be the first tower of the game. Vex chooses to flash away. Otherwise being caught in that Morgana ult. Aatrox choosing to ult here. This gets a nice chunk on Brook's HP. And both Maokai, both Ashe and Seraphine just living by a tiny bit of HP. If Jinx gets one reset there, one getting inside it there, we will be able to finish. Oh, Brook looking for the 1v1. Aatrox unfortunately missing everything, forced to flash away from that Sion ult. And Brook thinks, yeah, I take that anytime. Both top laners choosing to recall now, and probably at least Sion will just TP top lane. Might just walk, I'm not 100% sure. I think he might just use the TP to keep the pressure up on the Aatrox as he does, which means Aatrox has to answer himself. Goes for a very defensive TP at the golems for some reason instead of just on the tower. Which I'm not going to question, there must probably be a reason. Maybe he thought Morgana was top. Always possible, of course. Now Sion slowly whittling the tower. So is bot lane. Jinx looking to get that plating. That's second plating of that tower. First plating is disappearing in a bit more than half a minute. As you can just see, Aatrox can hit the Sion, but he doesn't really seem to care. Just Sion things. But now he needs to be a little bit careful. Not having ult up, of course. He does have his flash. Maokai is around. Ooh, nice trade by the Aatrox. Even though Sion doesn't seem to care that much, it still hurts. Now, next objective is Drake in about a minute. It's gonna be an Ocean Drake. Which means we won't have an Ocean Soul or a Cloud Soul this game. Rakan moving in on the bot side to get some deep vision. Var is surprisingly moving up to the top lane. Just uses the blast cone, get some vision up there. Now Maokai is again choosing to walk into the bot side. This time he's spotted on a ward. While top lane just keeps on hitting each other. Nothing really much happening there. Aatrox always trying to cancel the fully charged Death Mace and smash with his own smash. Ooh, this time dashing with late. Morgana is alone there. Ash Arrow hits, but it doesn't really matter. She needs to be a bit careful. Maokai hitting her away from the Vex. Okay, camera goes away. Morgana gets killed, but so does the Aatrox. That's why the camera wasn't sure where to go. That's a 1-for-1 trade overall, but it seems like Foxnyr will have to give up this Drake. Maybe Varus can look to go for a steal. He has a very strong piercing arrow at this point. He does get hit by the Seraphine. So Echo Peacocks know they're there. We get the top lane tower from Sion, of course, being very low already. Piercing arrow hits the Seraphine. Seraphine stepping up very far. That's the Varus ult being used. And that is a free kill for the Varus, now being 5-0. Ooh, the Rakan just missing. Ashe cleansing a bit late though, meaning everything hits. And that's another kill off the back of that dragon for Foxnyr, which means they will be able to push the bot lane freely. There's no TP to answer this. And with that, it should be another free tower for Foxnyr. In trade for that Drake, of course. And as we saw, the map change after the Drake was taken. It is going to be an Infernal Soul again. I think it was the Infernal Soul last game as well. So interesting that we got 2 Infernal Souls. And Morgana looking to invade the jungle again. Of course, having her first item completed, she does hurt a lot. Varus, as you can see. Ooh, the Q actually hitting. Needs to be very careful. Morgana has a lot of damage at this point. Seraphine not choosing to go for the heal. Didn't think that she'd need it. Vex just stepping to the left to make sure the Varus Q doesn't hit. And now 3 of Echo's laners, members hovering around that Sion. Needs to be a little bit careful. Now Sion, how are you going to get out of this? Okay, he doesn't seem to want to get out of this. He wants to get in of this. All the members not really hurting him. Aatrox still having his ult up, of course. Seraphine did have to flash there. Now Rakan is around. If they choose to re-engage onto the Sion, Rakan can look to counter-engage. But it seems like they... I think Maokai spotted him, so they respect the roam. Try and keep some poking. Morgana is fishing for those Qs. Trying to do the fake outwards upside. He doesn't have Black Shield for himself. He does have Stopwatch. So very good. Nice re-engage by the Rakan. Jinx ult finishing off the Vex. Now Jinx is in the fight too. Aatrox trying to do anything with Jinx but doesn't have ult. Jinx just kills him and continues running to the top lane. Maokai now being in a bit of an awkward situation. Sion can tank the turret for a pretty long time. And Rakan thinks, I want something too. And gets himself that kill on the Maokai. Now Herald is being pinged. And in the meantime, Brook is going to go for the top lane tower while Varus keeps on pushing bot lane. Needs to be a bit careful though. Never mind, Ashe went back. So no Ashe arrow in sight. So 3 objectives being taken at the same time while Jinx pushes in mid lane. So there's no way for Echo to do anything. Okay, it doesn't seem like the towers will fall. Inspire gets hit by the Vex ult. Uses his ult himself. Both cleanses used. He does have flash. He chooses to flash away. Ashe will not follow the flash. And that is a double summons traded for 2 ults and a cleanse on Vex's side. Maybe a bit greedy for the Varus to stay that long. But in the end, he did. And almost got tower. But manages to escape with his life. Not giving that 1k gold over to Echo. Which is of course the most important part of it. Now, I didn't mean to move the camera. I am very sorry. So the message that the in-game sound is very low as well. I will try to increase that for you guys. Let me see if I can do anything about that. You can tell me if this is better. Oh, Cyan going in for the ult. Seraphine not having her flash up. Rakan looking to go for the Ashe. Ashe arrow hits the Jinx. Varus needs to be a bit careful now. Vex and Maokai moving up. It doesn't. It might not seem like it's needed though. And almost kills the Aatrox, but just not having enough damage. Means 1k shutdown goes to the Aatrox. In the end, it might be a little bit too late for them. As Foxnyr keeps pushing in bot lane. Jinx now being at 2 items. Her rocket starting to hurt. Vex ult missing. No, they cannot go for any follow-up on that. Morgana binding, hitting. Rakan going in. Jinx ult as follow-up. And Vex just disappears. Morgana being so strong, 2 items in now, 6 not Magi, 6 Darksteel stacks. Potentially 6 Magi stacks if she chooses to go for that. Rakan just tanking all the damage with the Radiant Virtue. Like I said, being a bit more tanky. Ooh, Seraphine ult hits. Jinx uses the cleanse though. Maokai still choosing to go in. Pretty, really dangerous. Ashe in a very, very bad position right now. Big double knockup by the Rakan. Jinx flashing forward, getting some Maokai as well. Now they're chasing the Aatrox. Aatrox using the ult. Jinx just standing still with 8,000 attack speed. Maybe he should have kited it. I probably thought that he'd do a bit more damage. But that is a delayed ace for Foxnyr. Shelly is around. Maybe we'll get a dancing Shelly. If Foxnyr chooses to go for this. Oh, the bow special incoming. The double hit on the turrets. Not doing as much damage as I thought. Rakan dying, trying to get the Vex. Vex is gonna fall here too. Oh, nice flash by the Vex. Morgana now tanking tower. Morgana is gonna fall too. Very messy. Remember, stopwatch being used, or sorry, Zhonya is being used. Vex being caught in the backline. Now another 1k shutdown for Echo. Seraphine flashes to try and get the Morgana, but Morgana doesn't care because she has Black Shield. And now Seraphine needs to be a bit careful because she is getting poked down a lot too. Now this is potentially though. Morgana is, well, most probably gonna die here. Ooh, maybe he can get. Ooh, interesting choice to go forward there again. Not gonna lie. I think if he plays it a bit slower, he might actually be able to do something there. But now Echo need to choose. Can they contest Baron here? Can they choose to go for Baron here? 2 members down on Foxnyr's side. Of course, their base is in shambles, so they need to be careful about the end. And in the meantime, Sifter's like, hey, I'm just going to take this Drake to make sure we have that one at least. Oh, what is someone doing with my name? My name here? Wait, where? Oh, there. I don't know. Now let's see. Aatrox might be getting caught by the Rakan here. Rakan choosing to go in. Gets the knockup on Maokai. Of course, not the easiest target to get down. It is the AP Maokai. Or well, semi-AP Maokai. Ooh, Varus ult being used. Maokai forced to flash away from the 2 projectiles flying at him. Oh, yeah, okay, fair. Fanboy, maybe. Maybe fanboy. With this, it should be a pretty uncontested Baron. Ooh, Ashe ult actually getting quite close to being a potential steal. Cyan taking on the world in the top lane. Not really caring. Ooh, they're literally taking them on now. Getting the hit on the Ashe. Ashe does not have flash, so you take a lot of damage from just the Cyan here. Now Rakan looking to follow up. Gets CC'd in his ult. Ooh, gets another CC on him. But here comes Morgana. Morgana looking for the big ult. Getting 2 targets here. Vex falling. Morgana going into the stopwatch. Can the Varus ult finish off the Ashe? It indeed does. And that is an ace for Foxnyr. And with the towers being incredibly low, it looks like this is going to be game number 2 for Foxnyr. GG's to Echo Peacocks. And that was game number 2, guys. Very, very happy with this performance. It was a lot better than game 1. It feels like game 1 was just a little bit of a, let's call it warm-up. Let's just call it warm-up. Sometimes you have those kind of games, right? Now, what I quickly want to see of this exciting game 2, and of course the first official game, I want to see if we can potentially get an interview going with one of the players. Because I think one or two of the players, because I think that would be fun. It would be nice to do it with the cam as well. But let's quickly see if the boys would like that or not. So you have to send the results on the Prime League side. Yeah, technically the boys should do that, but I will. I can do that too. Ergebnismelden. There we go. I think it should be done now. GG's to everyone involved though. Let me quickly see if I can get Brooke. If I can get Brooke to the interview. Of course, we want to see the handsome boy, so I'm gonna send him. I'm gonna make sure that he can get his face cam in here. And we can get that interview going. If you guys have any questions towards him, you know, feel free to write them in chat. I'll make sure that he gets the messages to him. Or if it doesn't even have to be a message, right? It can also be, if you want to say anything to Brooke, basically. Is there anything you guys would like to say to Brooke? That is the big question. If yes, hit us up in the chat. Really, really excited though. It's banger games to watch once again. Foxnyr so far still undefeated. Main team now being, if you count the calibration phase, being 10-0. Very, very excited to watch them perform in the coming split. And now I just need to wait for Brooke to appear for his face cam. He just told me to wait a second, so I'm just going to continue talking random stuff. I hope I... Let's see. He should be joining in a second. Perfect. His cam is here. So let me get you guys this wonderful player on your screen. There we go. A tiny bit big, so let me make it a little bit smaller before we go in here. There we go. It's a bit dark in this room, I can see. But let me move Brooke up, and then we can head in for the interview. To find out where I am on the Discord, lol, before I can move anyone. There I am. Discord is so big. Hello, hello, Brooke.
Hello,
how are you doing?
What's up, what's up?
How are you feeling after that game? Or after those two games, let's say it that way. How are you feeling?
Quite well. I have to admit, the first game was pretty hard. The Rumble really played well. And also I underestimated the Rumble damage quite a lot. But yeah, also like I think botlane got also 2v2 killed there.
I think everyone was just warming up a bit.
Yeah, actually. We had some oopsies here and there, but I think in the end we had like this very, very good Drake fight where Cerberus was Giga smurfing it with the Zac. And second game was obviously a lot cleaner for everyone.
Yeah, for sure. The first game, like you said, was a bit hard. The one fight at Drake did manage to turn everything around. You guys got in control really well. Got like couple of aces in a row, basically getting all objectives, getting Baron, Drake, everything. So it was a lot better than compared to the early game, right? Just some, I think, some nerves. First official as a team, right? Always a bit something special. Now, first question from Bao in chat. Well, actually, two questions. First one is Gnar or Cyan?
I prefer Cyan. Like, Cyan is way easier to play, and I know the matchups from Cyan way better. Also, like the Aatrox matchup just now is usually a hard Aatrox favored matchup, and I even wasted my TP like level 1 with the cheese, right? And he still couldn't do anything about it, and it's like really whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then,
It's actually funny. I have a little bit of insight. Like we scrimmed recently, right? My team and the main Foxnyr team, and you picked Cyan into one of our games as well. And I remember when we were running to bot lane, I was like, okay, he is going to be in that bush. So we instantly like threw everything into that bush. And that was like the first time I saw you on Cyan not being in that bush, basically. So it was actually funny because it was the one time I wanted to be like predicted, and then you weren't there. A bit unfortunate, but it was funny.
Yeah, I think I played into Gwen there, and the matchup is like really. It's also not that good, and I didn't want to fall behind there.
Yeah,
And
understandable.
especially in the second game of a let's call it best of two, right? Where we like won a game and people are like really not like too focused because they just lost the game, then it's like playing with the mental, right?
Yeah.
And when something like that happens, I would be tilted as I don't want to say the S word.
Just a bit of a mental thing here in this case. Yeah, fully understandable. Okay, and second question also from Bao in this case. Brooke going for Foxnyr MVP after Stellar.
I mean,
yeah, sorry.
I mean, for first game, I would say Servus did the biggest part in that game because he was also helping me out a lot. Because I messed up in the first game a lot, and especially that engage on Drake saved the game quite hard. I mean, second game was a lot cleaner, but I think everyone did well there. I mean, when you look stat-wise, obviously you can see that I had like a big bounty and stuff, but yeah, it's kind of thanks to like I was doing well in the first game.
Yeah, but even in the first game, I think at some point, even though like, let's say the whole map was kind of crumbling a bit, at least in the early game, right? Everyone still managed to have a big lead. I think you had like a 60 farm lead at some point as well, or 50, 60 farm lead.
Yeah.
Even bot lane was ahead, even though they got the 2v2 kills as well. Mid lane was ahead by 40 or 30 as well. So it seemed like even though it was a bit shaky, some catches here and there, everyone was still managing to keep up with the farm.
Yeah.
So that was of course great to see, because again, until that fight where you guys won at the Dragon, until that point, even though everything looked pretty like dire kills wise and everything, they just got back from the gold lead you guys had. So like the gold was dead even at that Dragon fight, literally like
really? Okay.
100 gold difference maximum. That was like all the things that you, let's say, messed up was covered up by you guys just, let's say, played the lanes better, but with farm and everything, and all the platings you got and everything. So it was actually really fun to see that even though they were like 8-2 ahead, I think, in kills, you guys still managed to be dead even with them with gold, just through farm, basically.
Yeah.
So, that's very important too sometimes. People always forget how important these minions are.
I think Inspire also had like 10 CS per minute last game. I think me and Inspire had like 10 CS per minute until like 20 minutes, and then we were fighting a lot, and then we both lost the 10 CS per minute, but I think we did very well there in that kind of department. It was really good.
Yeah, you tend to lose a bit track of the minions after a certain point, or when the laning phase ends, you just run around and push one wave and then group, so it's always a bit harder to keep up that 10 CS, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with the Herald right in mid lane, where we like stick like 1 minute in the middle lane, and especially when I do the bow special and die, right? Yeah, well,
fully understandable. Now let's take a short look to the next couple of matches. I don't know how far you as a team have already like looked at the enemies a bit already, or do you know anything already about the next couple of matches?
No, I think the ones from today were quite fine. Like I think like I took a quick look at every team, and I think those guys were looking the most promising, if I'm honest. Like with the D1 jungler and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's also the only organization that I kind of know. Yeah. So I honestly don't know the strength of the other teams right now.
Yeah, fair enough. But in that case, it looks like you're in a good trajectory. Hard word to say, towards the 14 and 0, right? The undefeated calibration and group phase run.
Yeah, we are obviously trying to give our best. I think everyone had a very good mental even after we went like really behind in the early stage of the game 1, right? And obviously like after the win, everyone was like, yeah, we should perform way better in like second game, right? And we did. So I'm really happy about it. And yeah.
Yeah, no, again, game 2 seemed a lot more calm and collected, if you want to say that way. A bit more outplays here and there as well, like the ones we have been seeing in the calibration phase so far, and even a bit in the RM games, right? If you have seen those. So it was good to see that, of course. But yeah, then I think this is going to be it for us on this side, and we look forward to see you guys play next week. I don't think there's a set time yet. I just checked, and the enemies did propose a time, so we'll have to take a look at that the coming days.
Yeah.
But otherwise, for now, the next known quantity that I do know is the second team will be playing on the standard Sunday next week at 5 o'clock against their first week's match, which got moved forward. So they're potentially playing 2 games or 2 matches coming week, and with your match as well, it will be 3 exciting match days for us to watch. But yeah, for now, that is it. Do you have any final words to say to the 32 viewers we had at some point, or 33 viewers we had?
Yeah, good question actually. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my team, obviously, and a special shout out to Stifler's mom. Thanks.
Insert Stifler meme here. It's so much fun with. All right, guys, thank you all very, very much for watching. I will head off this stream for now, and we will see each other hopefully very soon for those 3 match days next week. Keep an eye on our social media to find out when those are exactly. And yeah, we're looking forward to watch the journey continue. Have a great evening, everyone.
Bye.
I might just have to go stupid. Hey.